Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new F1 Esports video. This is round number 11 around Qatar. And for the most people who have been following this series know it's been a while. And that's because I planned this series unbelievably bad. It was ending at the start of the F1 24 game launch, but I wanted to finish it. A lot of people have been asking for me to finish this series, and as you can see, we are in P4 in the championship, really far behind Freddy Rasmussen, 46 points, and yeah, we can only still win the championship by an absolute miracle, but miracles exist, of course. So for the people who kind of need to freshen up their mind, this was the last event of the F1 Esports Championship. There were 3 events. The first one was in November, which was Bahrain, only 1 race. The second one was in April, which had 6 races, and the third one was in May, a month later, and that was 5 races. And yeah, this is the second last race, round 11 of the championship, and in this last event I had huge PC issues, and you're probably going to be able to actually see it just sitting at home. The screen freezes or game freezes I'm gonna have. This was the worst round by far, especially in the race. You're gonna be able to see how bad it is, and in this Q1 lap I had horrible screen freezes as well, so I only went P16, and yeah, that's no ideal. We're literally second last out of the people who have set laps. A lot of invalidations as well around Qatar, of course. However, we just have to get on with it. We just have to stay focused, try to maximize points, maximize results with the issues we have. Yeah, so far it's been a decent lap. On the previous lap I had a huge screen freeze in the hairpin. You can see it instantly gave me a 10 to just having a normal hairpin there. Again, decent gain, almost invalidated through there though. And yeah, that was really close to an invalidation. Almost 3 times up. Really good. You can see on the bumps the back end wants to step away through there. And now we got Alfie Butcher going to provisional P1. We did a 120.4, so if we improve 3/10, it's going to put us to a 0.1, and I reckon that's going to be true into Q2, because like I see in the top left, Alvaro Carreton with a 0.3. So if we just finish this lap, we're going to be able to go through one of the last out on track, and it's going to be a 3.310 improvement, so it's going to be close to a 0.0, and that was a really clean lap, as I have no idea what happened there, but P5 it is, and that is more than enough to get into Q2. And yeah, out in Q1, Ulas Zilderim, Alvaro Carreton, Brendan Lee, Danny Moreno, and I don't know which one the last one was, but Barry Borman, championship contender in P15. That's so close. It is a difficult track to nail in the session, of course, especially because we went from Las Vegas to this track. It's the lowest downforce track on the calendar to the highest downforce track on the calendar, together with Zandvoort, of course. So it's really hard to adapt, because in a LAN environment you don't get a lot of preparation time. We still get some. We get like 15 minutes to warm up for a track ahead of qualifying and the race as well, actually. But yeah, it's not a lot. It's difficult to just step into a rig you're not used to, going from a low downforce to a high downforce track, and yeah, just instantly be on absolute incredible pace, world record pace. We have to drive, so not easy for sure. Joni Tomala to provisional P1. This is our first new tire run in Q2. Alfie Butcher to provisional P1 as we go into the final corner, trying to get the front end in. It's a bit weird to see F1 23 now, because F1 24 has so much more front end, which I really like. I really like that. You know, it actually F1 24 handles more like a race car. It's just that I can't explain. It reacts much more with much more front end, which is more realistic. But then, yeah, anything afterwards just feels really goofy. There's something fundamentally wrong with F1 24, but there are other fundamentals that they improved. It's just that yeah, I cannot explain what is wrong with it. They would just have to test it a lot, F1 24. But this is F1 Esports 2023. I'm going to keep the F1 24 feedback for another one. P10 it is, into Q3. And that was a tricky one. We saved a set of tires for Q3. And I knew from that first Q2 lap that I was not going to improve on it. Because it was a lap where I didn't get any screen freezes. And it felt pretty good. But of course, track evolution kicked in. A lot of people improved. And we only went through by 2/100ths of a second. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, I prefer to stay in, take the risk, and that way we've got 2 sets of tires for Q3, which I felt like I really needed with those screen freezes. Across the line we go. It's a 119.8 P5 after everyone has finished their first runs. And now it's gonna all come down to the important one. This is where it counts. Into turn 1 we go. Braking at the 50 meters, really late, down to 4th gear, early on the power. And you can actually see it by just watching. I can see it actually in my editing software. The ripples going through the screen and the screen just stuttering. And yeah, when you're watching, it's much less bad than when you're driving yourself. Anyone who is competing or plays at a decently high level games knows that that when you play you can see the screen freezes and FPS drops much better than when you're just watching. But yeah, thus far 1.3 tenths up, 1.4 tenths up, so decent improvement. Provisional pole was a 0.6. And if we do a decent last sector, we actually might be battling for pole here. If we nail this last sector, I reckon we are fighting for pole. So into the second last corner we go. And again, just had a huge screen freeze there, losing us half a tenth. And yeah, that's just put us out of contention for pole, unfortunately. But still going to be a 110 improvement. Bad last sector, unfortunately. And it's going to put us P6 for now, with still 3 people to cross the line behind us, and it's gonna drop us to P8. Bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We just have to get on with it. P8 is still winning contention, I feel like. Lucas Blakely behind us and Joni Tormela behind us. Pole position from Barry Bormand, which helps him in the championship as well. Getting that extra point. Freddie Rasmussen went out in Q2, by the way. I didn't even realize that. I forgot about that. But yeah, P8, still decent result. We can win from there. We're actually starting P7 after a penalty for blocking another driver. We're going to be starting on the hards, as you can see there. Lots of extra fuel on board, plus 2.4 laps at the start of this race. P7, and that is going to give us the opportunity to fight for the win for sure here. Starting on the hard, we got some softeners around us. Simon Weigang on the softs, Nicolas Longe on the softs, and I'm not sure what everyone up front has done, but we might see some more softeners around us. Away we go. Simon obviously getting a better start. We're not going to be battling him, or not going to be fighting him too hard. I'm not going to let him go, because that might have cost us extra positions. But you can see he has more traction down the inside. I'm going to send it down the inside of Alfie there. Not gonna actually battle that though, and now we are behind Simon into the next right-hander, and the back just slowed down a lot. I get hit from behind, and Lucas Blakely wing damage there. We almost got wing damage as well. I kind of just felt it coming, and that's why I lifted off. I just felt that the pack was gonna slow down, and yeah, if I did not lift there, we would have had wing damage as well. Ruben Pedreno down the inside on softs. Lucas Blakely and our teammate Jake Benham got wing damage from that, so they're gonna be out of the race and dropping down the order. But so close to having a race-ending crash there, nearly lost the back end, and somehow we kept it on track. But yeah, close one. Anyway, only one, actually 2 positions lost. One to Simon Weigang, who's on the softs, and one to Ruben Pedreno, who's also on the softs. Joni Tormela behind us, and then Freddie Rasmussen, leader of the championship, but down in P11, behind Patrick Siepels now actually on the softs. So Freddie did manage to get past Joni Tomela, that he did get past Patrick, who is on the softs. I'm not sure if I wanted to fight this, to be honest. Softs are a great tire in the first 2-3 laps around here, but then they start to drop off. I decided to not fight this and just let Patrick get ahead. We can fight him later on in this race. ERS recharge is really slow around here on F123. Of course, only one mode, or actually two modes, medium and overtake mode. And now, lap 4, I'm gonna go on the attack again on Patrick Siepels. Get up to P9. And now we're behind Alfie Butcher again. So, yeah, 2 positions lost so far in this race relative to where we started, but that's 2 soft runners. And now we just need to recharge our battery. I'm not gonna go on the attack on Alfie just yet. I just wanna sit back a little bit here. Our plan is to go longer into this race, otherwise we would have started on the softs. And we might actually start to see some people boxing. We got Freddy behind us, who had great pace. And yeah, the balance felt very much off for me in the opening few laps on those hards. And yeah, that just happens sometimes, you know. The balance can feel off at the start of a race, but feel great on the second stint. And that's kind of what I was hoping for, because the pace felt nowhere relative to Freddy so far in this first stint. That's why I decided to let him go. And not battle too hard. You can see loads of people boxing. Simon Weigang in the last sector now, together with Barry Bormand, I think so. And then another 3 people boxed on this lap. And Alpha Tauri, Thomas Ronhaar, and I think Nicolas Longue. And on lap 12, actually a massive stint from Ruben Pedreño on the softs. He's boxing as well now for, I think, a set of mediums. Mediums can make it from the end here. We are going to continue, of course. I want fresher tires towards the end. My favorite strategy, hard medium or medium soft, and then box late on. Lap 13 now. We are going to be boxing actually right here, because I felt like otherwise Freddy and Alfie were going to box and I was going to be stuck behind them. So yeah, not a really long stint on those hards relative to Ruben Pedreño, who boxed end of lap 12. But that stint from Ruben was insane, because I felt like we could not do 12 laps on softs on a good pace. So yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. We're gonna have Brendan Lee probably ahead of us. Tom Manley is boxing again, and that's because he had wing damage, I think so. But out of the box we go. We're gonna be behind Brendan Lee. Looking back, I think we could have actually extended this stint a lot more than what we did, because we would have only lost a position to Ismail Fassi, and yeah, we would have not undercut Freddy and Alfie, of course, but I think that would have worked pretty well. So yeah, it depends, of course. It's always dependent on a lot of factors, but yeah, Patrick ahead of us now. He's not going to be hard to overtake. He's on the hards, and yeah, I'm not sure when he boxed, but it's going to be relatively easy. You can actually see that we've already got more grip than him, even though our tires have not even warmed up. Hardest compounds available around here, which means they always take the longest to warm up. But nonetheless, we've got a lot more grip already, and we are straight away gonna go on the attack into turn 1, using a bit of my battery to close up into this final sector. This will not work in real life, because there's a lot more dirty air in real life, and you basically want to save all the battery for the straight. But yeah, not as much dirty air on this game. You can see barely any change. And now we're gonna go on the attack in turn 1. I think Patrick is not gonna fight this too hard, because he knows that he is fighting a losing battle. And you can see there Patrick jumping forward, and that is my game lagging. That's my game stopping. That screen freezes. And we actually lost time by that. The reason why we instantly started gaining again was because we had momentum. We were on the battery, but it did cost us an extra few percent to get past there. And that's just very much not ideal, because the ERS recharge is so slow around here. As you can see, some people going side by side through there. That's Fabrizio Donoso slowing down in order to help his teammate Simon Weigang up front to get more points. And now we got Josh Idowu and Brendan Lee going side by side into the next right-hander. And Brendan has been spun around there into the infield. And that gains us a position up to P8. And we are on a lot fresher tires than everyone ahead of us. Fabrizio going for the switchback there. And yeah, actually on those old tires, he's doing pretty well. I'm not sure when he boxed actually, or if he boxed. I'm not sure what his strategy is at all, but he's doing a great job at the moment to hold us up, that's for sure. And now we're gonna try and somehow get past. We're losing a lot of time here, but we need to keep our nose clean. We're gonna go around the outside of Josh into the final corner. We are side by side at the apex, which means he has to leave us the space, which he does. But now you can see how much time we lost there with that lag. Now we're lucky that Josh is out of ERS, but we've lost like half a second with that bullshit. It's absolutely insane that this is happening. Nonetheless, we make the move, but that costs us so much more ERS than it should have. And it put us back so far to the front train. Absolutely crazy, because this has properly put us on the back foot in this race. And you can see, luckily we had more ERS and we still managed to get the move done. We had an angel on our shoulder that Josh had no ERS left. You could, if you wind back, you could see he was flashing in the last sector. If not, our race would have been done there. Simple as that. We would have been out of the points because we've got a lot of people behind us on fresher tires. At the same time, we got a lot of people ahead of us on a lot older tires. Ruben Pedreño is only 1 lap older, but then ahead of Ruben, there are a lot of people who box really early. And if we manage to get past Ruben, we are at a serious chance of winning this race. It's as simple as that. And the car is feeling great at this point in the race. You can see Freddy does not have a pace advantage anymore. We can easily keep him at a decent gap. And now we're going to go on the attack on Ruben Pedreño into turn 1. We're going to go for the move around the outside. This is race deciding into turn 1. But you can see again we get lagged back. We get spawned back. It's just unacceptable. Luckily, we're kind of out of the championship at this point anyway, but it's just so frustrating because there's just another potential move gone. Yeah, as you can see there, we are putting pressure on Ruben now to go for a move, and now we're gonna go around the outside in the next right-hander. We're gonna send it, and again we get spawned back when we go side by side, and this is just race deciding. That we just keep getting spawned back. This is so frustrating. We've wasted so much ERS, and the second time this lap where a potential move is just gone because we get spawned back. I reckon if we didn't get spawned back there, or if my game didn't stop, then we would be past Ruben there in the long right-hander. And this is just frustrating. Because if we get past Ruben, we've got a lot older tires ahead of us. And we would have had a lot more battery as well. Again, we're going to go on the battery to try and go for a move into turn 1. In the slipstream, I'm going to use all of my battery here to try and go for a move. But again, just can't find a way through. And have to sit back. And now we've almost got no battery left as well. This is just frustrating. A potential race win gone out of the window with this bullshit. And yeah, I'm still gonna try and go for some desperate moves, but it's gonna be difficult from here on because we're starting to run out of battery. So we're gonna go for a big launch down the inside. Unfortunately, we just don't have the momentum on the exit to go for it, and we have to stay back again. You can see we're almost pushing Ruben around, struggling a little bit for traction there. But yeah. Again, we have to stay behind Ruben, a little bit of a mistake. Again, we have to stay behind in this section. Now we've got Freddy right behind us. And yeah, we're starting to run out of battery, unfortunately. So I'm on the ERS overtake mode again. You can see Ruben is flashing again. And yeah, at this point, even if we get past Ruben, we're not going to be able to fight for a win because we are too low on battery at this point. So that's the frustrating part about this vaulting. I know Freddy behind me has a lot more battery, and I have to go for a move here in order to do something. So yeah, I'm really pushing here to try and go for a move again. Down the inside we go again, and a little bit more aggressive here. I'm really frustrated at this point, and yeah, I know that I have fresher tires relative to the front four. Again, we're gonna expand back there, by the way. But now we're gonna go for a move down the inside of Ruben, and we're gonna brake really late and actually push him off the track there. As it's almost 3 wide, I'm trying to leave space for both. I'm gonna let Ruben ahead again here, as that was not a legal move for sure. But yeah, I sent it down the inside, and as I went for the apex, I thought Ruben was gonna go for a switchback, so I just let myself run out wide. However, he did not go for a switchback, and that's why we pushed him wide. So I had to give that position back for sure. Again, we're gonna go on the battery, but we've got nothing left, unfortunately. We're gonna keep the battery on though, because we've got Alfie right behind us as well. And I have to defend there, so we squeeze him a little bit. We go around the outside of Freddy, knowing that he's gonna be ahead of us here. He's flashing now as well, but he just slightly had more battery to play with. And now we've dropped down to P7. A little bit of a late move here from me, not gonna lie, on that initial going to the right. And then Alfie almost ran into the back of me when trying to go to the left again. But yeah, frustrating race. This is just a frustrating race in general because ERS recharge is so slow. It's hard to overtake. And now we got Alvaro Carreton behind us going on the attack. And I just want to fend him off a little bit. Alfie having to really defend there from Danny Moreno, who started from P19 on the grid. And yeah, I think went for a really long first stint. Have fresh tires for the second final laps. On to the final lap we go now then. We've actually managed to recharge our battery pretty well for this final run. And I think Ruben is trying to get past Simon Weigang there into turn 1. And yeah, didn't manage to, and probably wasted a lot of his battery. So that's gonna be interesting for later on in this lap. We're just gonna chill a little bit here, stay a little bit far away in the clean air, and then hope Ruben Pedreño runs out, or Freddy runs out in the last sector with the ERS, so we can go for a move. And this is great for us. This is brilliant news. Them battling, using the battery, and that's going to give us the opportunity to perhaps go for it in the last sector. Again, Freddy going for a switchback, couldn't quite pull it off. I don't think he's going to send it right here because he saw me make that mistake on the previous laps. And now we're using a bit of my battery just to get closer to Freddy and Ruben. You can see Ruben Pedreño is flashing, and that means he's on a 10% battery, and that's going to give us the opportunity. Of course, he also boxed a lap earlier, and that's going to make things interesting for sure. I'm saving our battery for this very last run. You can see Ruben doesn't have any tires left into the final corner. We're going to turn on the battery and manage to get past Ruben Pedreño, maybe get past Freddy. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get past there. P6 it is. Still 1 place improvement from when we started, which is great considering. Very frustrating race, because if we get those moves done with less ERS on Patrick Siepels, Joshi Dowu, and then of course if we get past Ruben, we've got a chance at winning this race. Of course then it's still dependent on getting past those other guys, but they were on a lot of all the tires. We had good battery if we didn't use up so much getting past, getting spawned back. So yeah, frustrating one for sure. But yeah, I prefer that this happens now than in a season where we're in a championship battle, because imagine we are on 140 or 150 points and this happens, then you're potentially lost the championship because of it, and that's even more frustrating. So yeah, I'm happy in some way that this happened now. Still frustrating that we've been almost a little bit robbed from a potential win with this. But yeah, that's racing sometimes. You can't always throw 6, or I'm not sure how the saying goes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video nonetheless. Holy smokes, my brain is gone. I haven't done voiceovers in a while. This is recorded very far into F1 24 already. Haven't done a league racing voiceover for a while as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out jarnoopmeet.com for my brand new merchandise and sim racing gloves. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. And see you guys next time. Ciao.